You guys know how I always tell you about how there's vulnerabilities with the internet where it's underwater cables or satellites and they can be taken out now. A lot of countries can do it. I want to talk about how some of the internet cables at the bottom of the ocean were cut recently. And it's all about where was the boat from that actually cut the cables. Plus, we're going to talk about a few other individual items in this video about important stuff about the economy and you. And just before we get into it, I ask you to help support the channel. One thing you can do right now is just click the like button. Please do that. It helps us spread the word. Okay, check this out. This is not an accident. Just like the time you remember a few years back, Russia was taken off from the airport and they had the cargo plane's back open up and all the gold spilt out all over the runway. Not an accident. Or you're at the sporting event and the guy proposes to his girlfriend on the Jumbotron and she says no and runs away. It's all a setup. But check out what's going on with the underwater internet cables in Europe.
Was it an accident or was it sabotage? Right. And this has to do with two undersea internet cables in the Baltic Sea. They were cut Sunday. One cable between Lithuania and Sweden, one cable between Finland and Germany. Germany's defense minister said that his quote was, "Nobody believes that these cables were accidentally severed." But you have somebody reporting on this as well, and there seems to be still an open question, accident versus sabotage?
And oh, by the way, I updated the peterleeds.com track record, our performance record for 2023, 2024. All the details are online at peterleeds.com.
So let's go back a little bit. A couple months ago, I had a story out about how closely the U.S. was watching Russia for exactly this threat. Russia has a highly secretive military unit designed expressly to monitor, map, survey underwater cables, and possibly attack them.
For subscribers of the Peter Leeds newsletter, we've got one stock pick for you coming up, and then it'll be Thanksgiving, and we're going to have to take a week off from the stock pick for the long weekend. I'm going to be in Detroit watching football.
They have surface ships, they have submarines, they have naval drones, and in September I had a story that the U.S. believed Russia's calculus on ordering such an attack on undersea cables had changed meaning they were more likely to order such an attack, and the U.S. had noticed increased activity by this highly secretive unit in this space, right? Watching these cables and hovering above them. So that's the threat environment.
And the satellites is another thing where a lot of countries, North Korea, Russia, China, maybe Israel, America, can take out specific satellites, and they know which satellite is which, and they can take out communications for a lot of the military for other countries in an instant.
I go to my sources and I say, what did you see there? And what they say, at this point, the U.S. intelligence assessment is that these particular, I don't want to call them strikes, right? But cable cutting was the result. What was a result of an anchor dragging an anchor, a ship dragging its anchor unintentionally over those cables and causing that damage.
So you see even that, just dragging an anchor, pretending to be an accident, you're seeing that it's very vulnerable and they can have a really big impact with even not that much technology. An anchor that drags behind a boat, because they know where all the cables are, and you cannot defend something that is miles and miles and miles long underwater. It's impossible. And just in case you were still wondering about where this boat was from, it was flagged or comes out of China. That's where it's registered to. Is that a coincidence? Russia's got a whole bunch of people looking to sever cable cords underwater, and then Chinese boats are actually doing it by saying they accidentally dragged their anchor. This is all going to get pretty squirrely when the entire world, and I learned this the other day when we lost internet in my business, the entire world without internet, we don't realize how reliant we've become on it, I believe. It's just such a juicy target. It's so easy to hit and will have such an impact. There's a really high likelihood that one of the first ways a nation would strike another nation would be by taking out their internet. That will be something that we'll probably see in our lifetimes to some degree. Russia even has a floating bomb satellite that's up there right now, circling around like a satellite that they can blow up whenever they want. And I always tell you that if World War III breaks out, the internet goes like that. I don't like the way things are going in the world right now. And I say it with a smile because I've been told I need to smile more. I even have a big sticker across my screen here that says smile. So there you go. If you're ever in a sudden need for a gift and you forgot for somebody to buy them something and you feel obligated, a good way to do it is buy them the Peter Leeds digital content. All their stuff's online. Courses, books, digitally you can get it to them and say, I didn't forget, baby.